check it, right? The Philadelphia Eagles got a situation, right? You paid you paid Jordan Mailata big money. He got the bag week 1. Do I think it's too soon? Hopefully he plays better, because last week he didn't look like the number left tackle that we paid. So hopefully he's the guy going forward, because you would hate to pay a guy that just got paid too early. Dillard, to me, I'm all for trading him, because to me, I know a lot of people saying he's done okay. He's a first round pick. He's the same year as J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Both have been inconsistent. One has done a little bit more than the other, because we know J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is just there for decoration. You know, this nerd, just annoying as hell. The fact that it is what it is. But Dillard is getting some trade calls. I heard the Ravens are interested. I would like to see if we could get a guy like a linebacker back. I know that linebackers are very important to this team, and if you could get a guy like a Patrick Queen back. Now, I don't think Patrick Queen is going to be traded here. I'm just saying, if you could get a guy like that, not, oh, Eagle Champ 1, you think you're going to get Patrick Queen for Dillard? You're stupid. No, I don't think Patrick Queen's coming to Philly. I would love to have Patrick Queen, because he's a good linebacker, and our linebackers are trash. But no, I don't think we're going to get Patrick Queen. But here's the good news: Zach Cunningham, a 26-year-old linebacker, is on the trade block. Houston, Texas are willing to take calls for him. I'd give up a 4th-round pick for Zach Cunningham, because the bottom line is, right, we know this team. If Howard Roseman does not get fired, they're not drafting linebacker in the 1st round. Now, my hope is he gets fired, because we do need linebackers. You need at least 3 linebackers next year in the draft. And you need safeties in the draft. You need cornerbacks in the draft. Darius Slade's in his 30s. Nelson's in his 20. He's going to be I believe in his 30s too, or 29. They're getting older. The only one that Vontae Maddox, I think his deal was up this year. I would extend Vontae Maddox. I think he's did very good for the fact that Jonathan Gannon doesn't have a good defense. Also, you're also getting calls for Fletcher Cox. This is a guy that I think has lost a step, but we said the exact same thing about Ertz, and Ertz came out and balled. I think part of it is the scheme. I think most of it's the scheme, because, here's my problem. Every time a player gets traded or cut, they go somewhere and be successful. For example, Rasul Douglas is now in Green Bay, caught an interception from the Eagles, and this is a guy that we gave up on it too soon, because we didn't have the talent at the time to evaluate, and we still don't. How many more picks do we have to watch go somewhere else and be legit? You know what I'm saying? The only one I don't think will be legit if we cut is J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and that's because he's done nothing. But who knows? He probably could go out there and ball on another team. It is what it is. But Fletcher Cox, to me, you have to get rid of, because he's making too much money. Yes, I know he is you can't get rid of him. He's too big. No, you can't get rid of him. You can. People said that, Carson Wentz's contract is too big. I'm sure there's a deal where you can get free from him. And that goes back to, that's why people need to stop saying that, because they said the same thing about Carson Wentz, that we couldn't get rid of his contract. His contract was too big, and we ended up getting rid of him. Now we have to take a cap hit, but I'm all for taking a cap hit, because you got to get younger. This defense, I've been saying for a while, and I'll keep on saying, go back to my old videos. I feel like my videos are starting to come back to what I was saying. You got to get younger. No more freaking veterans, because when I said that we don't need veterans, when you sign Ryan Kerrigan, who stinks, not a good guy, I think he's washed. I said I didn't want him. You sign people like Anthony Harris, who stinks, not a good guy. He has fallen off as a player. Hasn't been Pro Bowl since 2018. When you kept on bringing back people like Jason Peters, you finally just got rid of him, and now he's sticking up. And I feel bad for Justin Fields, because he ended up being his left tackle. And Matt Nagy stinks. So you got that, and you also got some players that you need to get rid of. Jason Kelsey has lost a step. I made my video a while ago, which is coming back to bite everybody's in the ass, when I said that when you stand Jason Kelsey, even though last year he was doing the exact same thing, snapping the football over the quarterback's head, when you're supposed to be a Pro Bowl center, you shouldn't have the issue. But he's getting old. His fundamentals of his joints and hands are catching up with him. He's not the same like he was. That's because he's getting older. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you got Lane Johnson that if I could get a second round pick, I'm doing it. Listen, man, I understand that y'all think, oh, if you trade Fletcher Cox, the defense is going. Where defense is going anyway. Fletcher Cox doesn't help this team or hurt this team. This defense is gone anyway. And when you wait too long, this is what happens. When I made videos saying that don't bring veterans in, everybody crucified me. They said, well, you need veterans here. No, you don't. This team don't need veterans. They need to get younger. Veterans are good when you have young players around you. When you're rebuilding, you don't need veterans. This team needs young talent. And a guy that knows what he's doing, because it goes back to this GM. It goes back to this GM. You need a football guy that can come in there and get some talent. We need pass rush. If you can get that Oregon kid next year, what's his name? Tharbix, whatever that dude's name is, just a monster. Dude's a monster. He reminds me so much of Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to be like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's a stud. From Texas A&M, I was a big fan of him coming out. But you need a pass rush. You need corner. You need safety. You need linebacker. You need a lot of things. Edge rusher. You need a lot. Maybe offensive line. So you got to think about trading Andre Dillard to get some picks back. But here's the thing. I mean, I don't trust Howie with those picks, and that's why this year it's important for him to go. Supposedly his contract's up this year. You can get rid of him and get a GM that knows football. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know if it ends this year or ends next year. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Pay him his money and get him the hell out of here. Pack his bags and get him out of here. Because the bottom line is you need young talent. And I've been saying this for a while, and this is what goes back to a lot of Eagle contractors weren't on the way I was. When I said Jason Kelsey should not be back this year, when you signed him back, what did you think was going to happen? Father Times is catching up to Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey is the best center in football, in my opinion, when he's 100% healthy, but he's not. He's getting older. His arm strength is not what it was. His accuracy with the snapping the football is not what it is. It's not his fault. It's just he's getting older. Some players have it, some players don't. Jason Peters should have retired a long time ago. And the fact that you kept him for so many years, which let's be real, you hurt Andre Dillard's confidence, and you end up hurting his development. Same with Travis Fulgham. Veterans over young players. You need to get younger, and you need to get rid of these old veterans. Anybody with the Super Bowl champion as part of the Super Bowl champion, get rid of. The only one that I would keep, or I might listen, man. I'm all for it. Like I said, the only thing I'd keep is Brandon Graham. And honestly, I don't know if I would keep him either. He's coming back off for 20 Achilles. You think it's going to be? And I love BG. I love me some BG. BG is one of my favorites. One of my favorite players on the Eagles roster right now. He brings so much energy to the team. I understand it's going to be hard to see the players go, but you got to get younger. If I could get a second round, if I could get a player back, or even a second, or even because Andre Dillard is at least a second round pick. He's a first round pick, and if you want a left tackle like him, you got to pay the piper. I'm tired of people trying to, Howie Roseman get these 5th and 4th round picks. This guy's worth more than what you think he is. And, what scares me is the Baltimore Ravens have interest. And you know what? But let them get him. Because, you know what? At this point, we don't need him. You need to give Jordan Mailata the full reps at left tackle. You need to stop trying to make him a right tackle. He's not a right tackle. He's a first round. He's a left tackle. Put him at left tackle. Trade Andre Dillard. Let him go somewhere where he's going to be able to start for a new team that's actually going to be a starter. Because he's not going to be a starter here. Fletcher Cox, to me, is not the best player like he was. He fell off. You know, he talk about, oh, Jonathan Gannon system, this and that. But part of it is him. He gets paid all that money, and he doesn't have that anymore. So, it is what it is. You got to get younger. You got to go in this draft year is very important for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got 3 first-round picks. You might have the top first this Sunday. If the Eagles lose to the Lions and the Dolphins, which, unless Deshaun Watson goes to Miami, plays right away, the Dolphins are going to lose to the Bills. The Bills are a very good team. They should be able to beat the Miami Dolphins. You know, so we will get the top number 1 pick, and you know Howard Roseman is going to return the damn quarterback. Now, this new GM could go in there and say, you know what? I want a quarterback. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I'm good either way. Listen, this is all about... This is going to take some time. And I'm all for taking time. If you can get a new GM that's going to help this team, that knows what he's doing, I'm all for it. Waiting patient and taking my time. But when you have Howard Roseman here, then at certain points, like, you're not taking your sweet old time. Because the process is Howard Roseman misses picks. If you could get a new GM that knows what he's doing and can actually draft talent, and we see a progression out of these young guys, and they're stepping up, and the coaches are putting the players in the best position to win, and you don't got puppets as head coaches. And Jeffrey Lurie needs to hire a GM, not a puppet, a guy that knows what he's doing. And he needs a lot of these GMs to actually do their damn job. Step back, sit your sorry ass down as the owner, and let the coaches and the GMs do their job. The only person that should be coaching, should be calling the shots, is the coaches down on the field. No GM should be interacting with the coaches of their decisions. But Howie Roseman has been so much of an ego that he's hurt this team more than helped it. And he's been hurting this team. This guy has been here 21 years, 22 years exact. And he's missed picks. He's reached on picks. He's gotten what? He's made 2. He has gotten 2 out of how many picks he's missed. Enough is enough. This is a very important year. Brandon Brooks is also on the trade block. I got to mention, Brandon Brooks is also on the trade block. I would consider trading him too. This guy can't stay healthy. How many times they have to go through when Brandon Brooks comes back? He has another shoulder injury. He's mostly out for the whole season. You got to get younger. I love Brandon Brooks, but he can't stay healthy. Lane Johnson is out too. I look consider trading him. I love Lane Johnson, but you need to get younger. You need to get a fresh start. I think Justico is a very good right tackle that can start for this team, and I think this team has young talent, but you know, you got to get Howie out the building. That's the first thing that needs to happen. You got to get him out the building. And this is why I'm talking about, because when you get younger, you got to talk about obviously Howie Roseman. Because if Howie Roseman's here, you're taking 4 steps back the wrong direction. You got to get rid of him. I mean, how many more years does Jeffrey Lurie have to miss picks for him to figure out that Howie Roseman's not the dude? He's not the guy. I mean, if you're Jeffrey Lurie and you're sitting in the press box, how can you be happy with this team? Unless he likes mediocrity and he just likes being trash. Which I don't believe Jeffrey... I know Jeffrey Lurie is looking at this team like, yo, we got to make some changes. And the first thing he needs to say is, you know, Howard Roseman got to go. He got to go. I defended this man so many years, but it's time for him to go. He should have been fired since 2018, but it's another story from now. But so there's a lot of players on the trade block, and you got to get younger. I'm not looking to acquire anybody back, because we need to be sellers. This is not the year to get players. It's not the year for us to acquire players. We need to be sellers. We need to get picks back. We need to build this team from scratch and all the way to the top. Because, like I said, man, it's going to take a while for this team to be back what it was. When you got a crappy GM that don't know what he's doing, when you're back-to-back, we're missing picks. And I honestly think you can get back. I think it's not going to take that as much as people think it is. If this GM comes and does his job and he drafts well, I think this team could be back. I think, honestly, you could be back next year. Listen, man, people say, well, you can't be back next year. Not true. I mean, we can get back, but you have to ace them. And they have to be the right picks. If you have Howard Roseman, you're not going to be back next year. That's for damn sure. And that's why it's important to get a new GM. But honestly, I think that you can get back there sooner than you think it is. But it's all about talent. You got your number 1 receiver. You got 2 number 1 receivers technically on the same team. You got your 2 running backs that, to me, Miles Sanders is going to probably be gone. So Gainwell is probably going to be your future back. You could probably draft a running back in maybe the third and fourth. You know what I'm saying? And you got, you got Vontae Maddox is still young that I would consider paying because the guy's done everything. I'm not a fan of I don't know what McPherson is. Obviously I would put him on the other side. And just develop him, but it's going to be interesting. Then you still got to pay Dallas Goedert, which I think they'll eventually pay him, or unless they let him walk. If they let him walk, then you might as well just trade him too. I would consider trading Dallas Goedert. If you're not going to use him, then trade. Listen, man, you got to build for the future, bro. But you got to get rid of Howard Roseman. That's the first step. Because it don't matter how many picks. This guy's wheeling and dealing. Okay, whoopie-doo. So what? So what? He's okay at trading, I guess. People say he's great at trading. Not really. He's okay. He's okay. But you got to get back for the future. I'm out.